said I'm playing. They were the side man. Oh, Yalaba, or Yakonsado. That was a baby dog who have always like a boy summer. This is when I come on well. Second, your mamma, tell him, Massy, mamma, won't dog on Cuba. Second, your mamma, tell him, Massy, mamma, won't dog on Cuba, always like a boy summer. What was a mother got a caboose when she had was Yana, Nukuza, Piesia, Melody, Yaka, Babasi, probably every today, Coca Coca. Everybody will you talking. Everybody will you talking. Said I will give everybody will you talking. Will never consider my father. Can say you can pass it off here. We are okay. He was a gay Pierre. There was one woman. Second, your mom, better, must be mom, but you have about you. What are that, man? They were the side man. Oh, Yalaba, or Yakonsado. That was a baby dog who have always like a boy summer. This is when I come on well. Second, your mamma, tell him, Massy, mamma, won't dog on Cuba. Second, your mamma, tell him, Massy, mamma, won't dog on Cuba, always like a boy summer.
Eu seu astilho.
L'entre.
Mitabia, webi tu kwa abisuote.
Meinu ya wanu abojan semu. Semu. Ya wanu wapaba. Tina daja unu ewo. Osi kola unu ewo yawe. Kiwe. Poma yawa sepore tauzoa yawa zoa tenata jauzoa biku ideglu la ilana biku malita dulu ni la ilana yawe yawe kakanya kabura koza yika kaideglu yalo ya pafe wepo yawa zoa o semu. Meinu ya wanu abojan semu. Semu. Nyekwa ya wazobe. Nyeku malita ilana. Miku malita dweloni la ilana. Yawe semu. Yaka idoka we mebe. Yeka malita dwelu ye yuasu pipo. Yoya lele se ayekaya, aleka me ba kalabo. Jona leka me ba kalabo neguwe. Mazele wakura, wala zobia zona pone dana la yango kalwape. Ino ne wala tapia delapo, nana la yango kalape. Wabogo kole wazie wanumwe tolo tuape wapo wape naulu nakoke nangaka maya wesepe tanu abo kame bunu wapi anu kalola abupaka kanono me abupa ya nizogwe jaya mukatibo yawe laka yidoka rita belo Yanyano ye sotasiwa ye pojo yawe Jambi uzolo abo wapoja bapo po me baya yika jabo yawe Meinu ya wanu abojo semu semu yawa so boya pulso ni zelo Bomano ni anae yawe Bomano ye ni anae jaka Ye kama pitu boye pone Papa nui nenda Mama esta dusu ye pone Yawa nui le Papa anju baye pone ya nu ileza Me nu ya wanu aporo kinsemu No place I try you pone me ya Daniel ya pone drauzwa kiwe uzoa wo drauzwa Kwedo ye pone ya uzuma Il espère guano ye pone me Jansume Ole rote zwa ye pone Jansu Meinu ya wanu abojan semu Semu Mama anime ye pone Jansume uda Sensava ye pone Jansu Me hace vaya poneme Josué. Que nuevo, que será. Ven mami aye pone ya wa solo. Me apone me lo tapia. Ya we kaka pa we fe kwa para pono. Josué. Jesus nuevo. Il a chaque fois pour nuevo. Moi il a chaque fois pour ne jaunue. Tasia pana kwe wase pa bamba pane. Yawa thank you. Joshua. Ina ta jaunuevo. Niku malita jolo ni lalana. Tawe. Malita jolo balao. Josemu. Noa, 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 bo, yawe. Asa domine koma du gope, Noa ba. Popo kago koma du gope.
Yes, indeed. It's a wonderful, wonderful day here this evening. Today is Monday, the 16th day of June, AD 2025. And of course, you tune into BKS TV right here, and you're about to listen to the program, The Heat Hour, here with Afonso Wongo and Junior Bang. Together, we're going to bring you a fantastic show here tonight. It's officially 11 minutes past 10 o'clock here in Rwanda, and it's 11 minutes past 8 o'clock in Liberia. And of course, I think it's 11 minutes past 3 o'clock p.m. in Minnesota State, USA. So indeed, it's a beautiful show here this evening. It's wonderful. We're going to have a fruitful conversation here tonight. Wherever you are joining us, I would like to say welcome to the show. Please help to share the show with somebody and let somebody share with another person. Today's edition of the Heat Hour is going to be fantastic. On the Heat Hour, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullet. Whatever we do here, we will still very respectful in all of our conversation. So we urge you to tune in, to listen to us, to comment on your thoughts or views on all of the stories we will be following here this evening. And that's it. We're going to have a wonderful conversation. Before we read our headlines, I get to Afonso. And Afonso, good evening, welcome.
Good evening, Chion. Good evening to our listening audience there.
Welcome to the show, Afonso.
Thank you.
So in today's edition of the show, we're going to go back to Nimba County, where Senator Nyantoy today appears on OKFM, and he has several issues to discuss today, ranging from Asalamenta, Liberia, previous MDA in 2003, 2005, Rectify in 2007, and of course, they are also asking for continuation of the MDA for another 25 years. He spoke to OKFM this morning. We're going to play that recording here and also have our 1 or 2 cents on the conversation. We will also, today, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia visited China. He toured some machineries stores in China where the Sony company is producing 285 machines for the Republic of Liberia. We're also going to be playing the recording from those tours today and all of the engagement he had in China for us to have our 1 or 2 cents to that too as well. In the verse of controversy, President Boakai executive order for people to own a citizen card before transacting any business in Liberia, ranging from SIM card registration to a bank transaction. Everything has turned to a controversy where many of the citizens are saying they are not getting the services that they deserved. They go and stand every day on the line and not being taken. According to some of those people, they only issue 85 tickets a day. We're also going to be playing some of the recordings done by Front Page Africa today in Monrovia. Front Page Africa spoke to some of those people who were standing in the line. We're also going to be playing a recording here too as well. But again, we will be discussing some international stories. As we all know, 4 days ago, conflict broke out between Iran and Israel. And as far as the world is concerned, we are all concerned about that. And it's going very wild every day. Very, very wild. So maybe we can start with that discussion while we say what is on our mind. But Afonso, welcome.
Thank you, John. It's my pleasure every day to appear here to share our views about people there in Liberia.
What did you eat today? Solid GB?
I'm looking at DK well, he's swallowing GB all the time. I have fun taking my lip and butter, you know.
What is the difference between GB and my mother?
far different. That heavy close together.
Anyway, you're looking for ticket problem, though. You're looking for ticket problem. When ticket come for you, and there. So that's it. Let me start with my say. I want to begin with this issue going on in Israel and Iran. It's quite unfortunate, quite frustrating. I watched most of the videos today. I've been following most of those international news platforms like Sky News, BBC, CNN, and all of those platforms. And those news that we are seeing, they are highly frustrating. Very, very frustrating. I don't know where we end up to this. I don't know how we came up to this stage. I don't know what happened behind the scene, but I pray for peace. Pray for peace in Iran. I pray for peace in Israel. And I've been seeing a lot of scripture today. You know, I don't really read the Bible like that. But today, today I've been coming across a lot of scriptures on the internet, and they are saying that nation will rise against nation, and that will be the end of the world. And a whole lot of things are going on. I'm getting scared, Afonso.
I'm getting really scared because you want to enjoy your education and the end of the world coming, right?
Yeah, but I know something like that won't happen pretty soon.
Yeah, Joe, you know, that issue with the issue with that issue with Iran is something that everybody need to be focusing on, because the Islamic State they are trying to gather themselves together to defend each other, and we will not want for Islamic State that has engulfed one of the quote unquote Christian nation, even though they practice they call it Judaism, but there's Christian nation that is how they call it Israel. That to go in contact, conflict with Israel, it would be very bad. It would be frustrating.
I watched a
video. Good thing for Israel instead of it. Yeah.
I watched a video today about TB Joshua the late. Yeah, I think you know him from he was in Nigeria.
Nigeria, yeah.
And he predicted this conflict between Israel and Iran, some part of 2012. I watched one of the clips today, and exactly those things that he predicted in 2012, those are the things that are happening currently. And it kind of like, you know, baffles me a little bit that I'm not really trusted this thing of prophecy. I'm not really think of it whether it's real or not. But for someone to predict something, I call that prediction, and it's coming to pass after a couple of years now. It kind of like looks scary, you know, very scary.
Yeah, John. The prediction is already in the Bible. Those who wrote the Bible, they did the prediction, and after doing their prediction, and I think it just left it almost like you got a plan for your house way by your grandparent, did that plan, and every time the other generation come and see it, they come and see it, you just wake up and say, okay, I want to implement this plan. I think that's what happening now with the issue of the Bible. People wrote this thing down and say in the future there will be this, there will be that, there will be this, and people are saying, okay, we have to meet that target. I think that's the target they're trying to meet. But to avoid all of these things, the only thing in that Bible for me, if I personally was the head of the whole world, could take into consideration is the issue of love. That's the only thing I would implement from my ancestor, to just love. Because if you love, all of these things that are going on will not going to happen. Love go beyond everything. But people these days, they are not loving each other. Everybody creating, that kind of hatred for people, People want to get this, they want to get that, all those kind of things, Yeah. So power, greed, everything, things that you did not create yourself, you want to own it personally in abundance, and so that the other people can be suppressed, and people will not want to do it. All of us, as we share, all of us are created equally. You will get almost all in your house, and the other man is suffering. It's not a good thing. So that's why you see the whole world looking.
About 29 minutes ago, Iran accuses Niantou of launching attacks to sabotage U.S. and Iran nuclear deal. So this news is from Sky News, and it says Iran foreign minister has accused Benjamin Netanyahu. I think this is the prime minister of Israel. He said the foreign minister of Iran has accused him of ordering the attacks on Iran to sabotage a nuclear deal between Iran and the USA, says Ababa's news. This thing with the USA, for me, I don't really understand. Most of the thing it boils down to weapons. It boils down to who owns the power and everything. I don't really understand where the war is leading. And I tried to watch some of those videos today. An Iranian journalist was reporting news in the studio at the state-run TV channel in Iran, and unfortunately, the station was bombed. The station was bombed, and when I saw that, I felt very bad. I felt very heartbroken, and things like that happening. I think nations with the power just have to go together to try to resolve it, because children, women, men that are not aware of these things, they are the one lost in their life. But you will never see the president to be killed in this kind of situation. You never see the prime minister being killed. You never see the defense chief being killed. But the innocent one are the one that will be killed. So to avoid these things, I think it's much better the countries with the most power go together to resolve this thing.
Yeah, that's why we're hoping to see if that will happen. When those very people you're talking about want to remain power, they don't want to go back to where they came from. When you come from the poor background, or maybe the way you grew up, and coming to know yourself, and being so that powerful, people pay homage to you, and for you to go back to that same status is very difficult. So to see themselves saying, okay, yes, with America and other things, during World War I, World War II, if you really read it or follow it historically, you will notice America play a very, let's say, smart game in it. They didn't want to involve themselves directly; they did it indirectly, supporting other country, putting other countries together. Say, oh, my man, you this one is happening. Let's do this, let's do that, and they did all of these things. And later on, because they noticed at the time, the Russia Federation was very powerful, coupled with the German and Great Britain, all of them were powerful. But how we here have 50 states or 51 states, how can we be powerful than those guys too? So they try to calculate this thing. People say most of the smart people are from Europe and Asia. Yeah, when it comes to technology and other things, yeah, they are from there. But politically, the smart people are from the United States. So they cajole those guys, and they did what they could, as you can see today. They are then the powerful nation. All around the world, you notice they are called military personnel are all there. But can you sometimes sit and wonder why China military is not in adequately near America border, or they are not in Australia? They don't have military base in Japan. Why? Because one country is powerful than all the other country. It's not supposed to be so though. When they went for that United Nations stuff, they allow one country to preserve oil. And that country, could you imagine even the United Nations Security Council, they only got 5 countries that decide on security matter in the world?
Yeah.
How possible is that? How possible is that?
That's something that requires the entire world to speak about. But for the sake of our show, and I want us to dive into.
Yeah, very difficult because Gaddafi dive into it. After Gaddafi dive into it, the next year
Yeah,
they kill him. So they both actually dive into that.
for the sake of our show, let's leave it as it is.
Yeah.
They say at certain point in time you observe certain things, but you don't speak about it, not because you are afraid, but because that's what the culture was meant to be. So again, we pray for peace in Iran. We pray for peace in Asia. We pray that the two countries come to one understanding to resolve whatever dispute that is going on between them. Let the killing stop. Before we go to the story of the senator today, I want to use this medium to say, to extend happy Day of the African Child today to all of the children out there and all of the child right actors across the world. So for a little history, Alfonso, the Day of the African Child is one of the greatest day in the history of Africa, especially in South Africa. You know, we in some part of in the 90s, the children in South Africa, they gathered themselves to protest, you know, to protest that they wanted education. They wanted education. Basically, their protest was for education. But unfortunately, the police went ahead, started to shoot them, and they massacred those children. So if you heard of the Soweto massacre, it was about the children that were protesting for their rights, for their voices to be heard, you know. So they were massacred badly. And with these countries around Africa went together, they said, we have to create something where the children's voices can be heard through their representative, you know. So now today we have the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection in Liberia because of the Soweto saga that took place in South Africa. So every June 16, we celebrate the Day of the African Child, celebrating those hundreds of kids that lost their lives speaking for their rights. So today it has been celebrated in Liberia. But unfortunately, the government passed all of the budget. Now in Liberia, the government passed all of the budget for children through the hands of the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. But unfortunately, if you go on the streets today, you will see children passing around selling cold water, children passing around doing things that they are not supposed to do, which of course is supposed to be in school. So the ministry take that money, enjoy it to themselves. During the days of Minister Wilhelmina Piso Selita, she built thousands of houses. Again, with the current gender coordinator in Nima. The coordinator in Nima, we don't know what is going on, but we urge that the GAC go to that place, the General Auditing Commission. We need that entire place to be audited. That already have built thousands, decent upstairs building in our city without us knowing where the money is coming from. So I think it's much prudent enough that all of these sub-government agencies within the county, they all be audited. She's running a little school which cannot afford to build those buildings that she's building. The Ministry of Gender is in Sanicoli there. The children benefit are supposed to come. She have a special organization, and I'm speaking from evidences. She have a special organization that she direct all of this money to. But people don't speak about it. When we try to talk, they say, no, she's your Oma. You don't have to say something about that. But we're going to cook something sweet for her to bring you on this platform. Something very sweet that she will like it. When she listens to it, she will like it. So I want to say thank you to all of the child rights actors across the world, especially in Liberia, those that are advocating for the rights of kids. We want to say keep it up. Kudos to you. You are the reason that children are living a better life today. You are also protecting the future of tomorrow. But again, the gender coordinator of Nima County, Omanya, we are said again.
She's still the gender coordinator.
Yeah, she still is the gender coordinator. There is two things in that city, in Sanicoli, that we have to speak of. That coordinator, the both coordinator, the youth coordinator of Nima, William Monday. I don't understand this entire youth thing in Liberia, you know. You look at one for a 60 years old man or something like 45-year-old man, he's saying that you call it. You're kidding our country seriously. But we got to speak about those issues, especially with him Monday. Of recent, we see him working seriously on the internet because we post so many tension behind him recently that he should resign or they should take him from the post because he has stayed too long there. And with the tension right now, we see changes going on. I think the next place that we're supposed to hit fire is the Ministry of Gender in Sanikoli. We don't know how the workings are, but we believe that most of our kids in that county, they deserve better. Not to have a coordinator who would divert funds from the county budget to her personal gain. So we got to speak about that, Afonso. I just wanted to say that shortly before we...
Thank you. I just want to join you to say Happy International Children's Day to all of the children there in Nimba and Liberia. The issue about the gender coordinator, it show light on it is something that we need to be thinking about and see, not only limited to the gender coordinator and all other government appointed officials in the country. We need to know how they actually spending the government funding are coming to them. Coming through the offices for the country. But for me personally, I don't just label allegation people until I can get the facts. So we have to go beyond every cent that have been sent to the country during my editing up to now. As a coordinator, I think we have to send people there to get almost all of the information before we can start to discuss them on social media like this. That would be good for us, even the county administration.
I mean, we still are waiting the county administration. We still are waiting the audit report to come up. Bucket at Bucket, we heard that Bucket at Bucket was audited. The former superintendent Nelson Kokoi, he was audited along with all of his co-workers. We want to know what that report says. But I know that so many stuff were done down there that were not right. So we're going to speak about that. We're gonna speak about that once we get more details about it.
Yeah, the audit report, the audits that were done. For me, I got problem with the audit. People just thinking on this going George Weah administration. That was just 6 years. What becomes of the past 12 years, the county administration? Like Nima County been receiving a lot of money. Early in time, George Weah time was not that much as compared to early systems, 12 years. So those superintendents that served, during those days, some of those superintendents that need to be audited seriously. Even the man, either Gonglo way, the Kristana Dagatu, the Fons Wagley, the Dog Cooper, all of those people, they need to be audited. They need to tell Nima people what really they did with the funding since 2007 up to present. What they have done. Now, you see, Komiape is just there for, I think she almost going to like 2 years. Next year, only 2 years there. Now, her 2 years, Nimpa, can you compare that with people who spend 12 years? No. These are some of the things we're looking at. So, yeah, I saw one flanking the European posting about the current superintendent, making allegation. I was saying, but I don't know if flanking is thinking way back during people days, or he's just thinking now. I don't know why some of them, they are journalists, where is us for? I don't know. People are journalists though.
You're definitely becoming a talk show host. So you join the gradually.
Yeah, I just want to be critical on issue. That's all. But I'm not.
That's great. So with less time in our favor, I think it would be much better that we go to the recording from the senator today. He spoke of a lot of issues. He spoke of so many different things, and if you listen to that recording, you will believe that he's actually in the interest of the Nima people. But I don't know where all of these controversy coming from, concern women, concern youth, concern children, concern this, concern that. I don't really know how many concerned people we have in the county. But let's listen to the senator.
Yeah, it was about
development in the country. He noted that a decision will be made by the Ministry of Public careful to do. And then I got the best staff in my office. I mean, they're there, and we're working hard. And we are there to serve as a fulcrum for the Liberian Senate in whatever way we can be, in different aspects that we can be used.
I know. One thing that was very explosive, let me say, for lack of better words, I'm still trying to find words, very visible all over Nimba, was the Nyan Twain Foundation. Let's begin our discussion there. Is it still functional?
Yeah, we still got our structures across the county. So what we're trying to do now, the last time we did a donation was about, I think, 3 months ago.
Okay.
We want to hit the ground big. This year was declared the year of education and women empowerment. So between now and December, the foundation is now gathering resources to hit the ground running. What we're going to do is that we're going to increase the school supplies. You know, we've been supplying some the erasable, what they bowl in, not black bowl anymore, but the white bowl.
The advanced bowl.
Yeah, we've been doing that with a couple of schools. We've been focused on disaster victims. We've been doing that, where there are problems, we've been, interceding there. What we want to do now is between now and December for us to come up big for women and then for students again. Because next year we'll be going into a different direction, into the rural youth. Those those how they call it?
Less fortunate people.
Those challenge youth. Yeah. That, So next year will be our focus on. The way it works is that the superintendent brings the vision to the council and then they study. And I even made a post about it. Senator John Hoffman and the former Speaker of the House of Representatives of Minnesota, Senator Hotman, too, was shot along with her husband. They died. But Senator Hoffman, who is our guy, a very friendly guy to the Liberian community.
That's what I heard.
Who budget hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Liberian community. He got more than 20 awards from African and Liberian community in the U.S. So he was a guy who took me on a guided tour of the Capitol, took me around, a very good man. And then he got shot. So I don't really know, because that was my major side talk with him, that he was going to liaise with the governor, and then they were going to make this October trip possible, where we take business people there to do a presentation and showcase their businesses to see how best they can. So we don't know how long his recovery will take, because he went through surgery yesterday. So we hope and pray. The bishop for the community called me yesterday. The president of the Liberian community called me yesterday. The UNICO president called me yesterday. And even his office, the secretary called me yesterday. So we hope that Senator Hoffman will be able to recover the soonest, and I hope he will be able, to be himself, so that maybe, if not October, but sometimes maybe by the end of the year or next year, when he's fully recovered, we can now
because the recovery process is going to take some time. It's not just about getting him out of the hospital.
So that was one of my main sideline talk that I was very sure of happening, to take business people back to the U.S. to showcase their businesses, and then they can maybe get one or two investors to put into their businesses. Alongside that, there are a lot of issues. We met a lot of permanent Nimba citizens who we have encouraged to come back home. Many of them will be coming back, either November or December. And when they so do, we would like to bring them along for an interview so that they can tell you people what actually they brought for the people of Nimba and Liberia.
Did they say to you that they follow the politics back home, especially in Nimba? Are they concerned?
Religiously. These people know more about even the politics back home than, many people here. Okay. They know, when I made a comment, which village I went to, and what I said there, what song I sang on the campaign trail, who I was dancing with. They know all of these things. The internet has made the world a global village now. So that is it.
Okay. Now let's move straight into something here, and that one will take a lot of time on it. I'm sorry, but I will take a lot of your time. It is the issue about the ArcelorMittal thing, and I'm sure as the radio stations are relaying this morning, that is the concern of the Nimba people.
Thank you.
Another time, Senator Twain we speak. I beg your pardon, Senator Twain will speak. Musa Belete will say, we stand with Senator Twain. That is the voice of the caucus. The superintendent will come to talk. Another time, some of the young people in the county say they see it differently. Other young people were protesting when ArcelorMittal, they say metal steel should leave. Senator, what are the issues
with
ArcelorMittal and the leadership of NEMA, particularly maybe the caucus. But I mean, that's the leadership, because the superintendent share your view too. What's the issue? Let me sit and listen to you.
Now, thank you, Clarence. And I hope those in Radio Land will actually give me a listening ear, so that I can put this issue into perspective for people to clearly understand what we are talking about here. In 2003, during the Julie Bryan administration, when Liberia just took over around 2004-05, we were struggling with investment. Here, Kim Mita, still at the time. Given that we just came from war, we were very eager for any kind of investment. We went through a deal where we gave 25 years to Asilo Mita to operate. The deal was not that bad, but we didn't take our time to do a lot of things, especially on the social development fund, on improving the livelihood of the surrounding or of the concession areas, and even, to the extent whereby the issue of, the general income that should come to the government. In 2006, when President Seli took over, she called for a review that was ratified in 2007. In that review, it articulated clearly, it was an improved version of the 2003-2005 MDA agreement with Mita. Our point is, in 2030, Asilo Mita contract with the government of Liberia to take iron ore out of Liberia will be over. They are now waiting, and which is universal. You don't wait until your time finishes before you come for renewal. Mm-hmm. In 2022, Asilo Mita made an attempt with the WIA government to renew. Yes, they did, for another 25 years. Now, when they got to when the ratification got to the House of Representatives, the House of Representatives commissioned several other audits and reports. Some of those reports, two of those reports were very, 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 very difficult on Asilo Mita. And it must be stated on record that in 2022 or 2023, the House of Representatives rejected the ratification of the Asilo Mita extension. Let's get that clear, because of environmental issue and lack of, clear financial disclosure to the legislature, whereby a profit could be declared for dividend. That issue passed. They have come back on the drawing board again. The IMCC, the Interministerial Committee, is now working along with them to make sure that, they pass this deal before 2030, which is prudent enough. However, the Legislative Caucus of NIMBA, 3 months ago, having heard that this deal was fast moving, that it was at the finishing stages whereby they were going to now pass it on to the president for onward submission to the legislature, we got alarmed. Because you know why? When concession agreements go to the national legislature, Clarence, they don't go there for you to correct certain things, or you make input, or you subtract things. You either pass it or you reject it. And given the fact that we are 11 lawmakers from NIMBA, no matter how angry we are about a document, there's a likelihood that a multi-billion-dollar company like Asilo Mita can outshine us and lobby with other people to pass it. It happened before. It happened in 2003 and 2005. It happened in 2007 with the ratification. At some point in time, NIMBA lawmakers even boycotted some of these hearings, but it didn't even yield. So our point now is, look, there are issues that we have had with the past agreement that you have violated. These violations must be corrected before we can even talk about the ratification of another 25 years. Thereby, we'll be giving Asilo Mita 50 years. And the 25 years that they won, we have a geological report that suggests that the mine, as the pace in which it is mined now, within 30 years, the mountains in NIMBA will be depleted. 50 years in the country, what do we have to show? What will we be reliant on to show our people that Yikepa was a mining town, for example? That this road passing through Zorowi and Bapa was leading to a multi-billion-dollar mining company. It is shameful. We are not blaming Mita entirely on as a company. We are also blaming the negotiators of the government, which is the IMCC, the Interministerial Committee on Concession. Our point here is the violations that have been going on, and then the compulsory line item within the MDA should be included, such as number one.
Before we go to that,
Yeah.
what are the issues as per the ongoing or the current MDA that Metal should have done that it did not do?
Good. Number one, when the ratification took place in 2007, and this is a challenge to anybody in ArcelorMittal, Article 10 of the agreement suggested clearly that 1 year, 365 days after the signing of that agreement, one of the 3 senior executives of Mittal should be a Liberian: the chief executive officer, the chief financial officer, and the chief operating officer. It is written within the MDA that as of 1 year after the signing of that agreement, a Liberian should be recruited to serve.
After the 2007
2007 ratification. Up to now, many years later, decades later, we stay sitting here and we still got the 3 most senior people in ArcelorMittal as foreigners. That is a violation of the MDA. In the 2007 MDA agreement, prior to that, it was just there that they would provide scholarship for students to learn, what have you. It was articulated within that report that $200,000 would be spent every year for Liberian students, including Nimbayans, to go abroad for study. $200,000 is a lot of money to send a lot of kids to school. What happened, Clarence? Up to today, between 2007 and 2012, ArcelorMittal own report to the Investment Commission and the LERTR, it suggested that they didn't pay any money in scholarship until 2012. So that 5 years times 200,000, what's the amount there? So that means ArcelorMittal owes that money to the people of Liberia, and we need to bring that money back on the table to recruit students to go abroad. That was a violation because it was written clearly within the MDA. It is written that at the end of the financial year, ArcelorMittal should declare profit. It is within that profit that they will pay corporate tax of 35%. Up to today, we have never ever gotten dividend on profit, because you know why? ArcelorMittal has always reported a loss. And my point and our point as a caucus is that the reason why they don't ever declare profit for us to get dividend of that profit is because they are doing what we call transfer pricing. They are carrying on what we call trade misinvoicing. All of these things that they are doing. For instance, transfer pricing, what does that mean? ArcelorMittal is the one that buys the ore, transfer the ore, parent company the ore, turn it into steel and sell it in the world market. So they always hiking prices of production. And when you hike price of production, it swallow profit. If you're not making profit, you've been here for 20 some more years. Why are you still wanting to be renewed?
What?
So let me finish. So what they do, for example, they divest some of their areas into low profit area to report from there. Places like Cyprus, places like Brazil, Tanzania. They play this game of us a lot. And at the end of the day, the transfer pricing is hurting us because they know that the tax rate, the corporate tax rate is higher. So they will always do what they're doing so that they can be able to declare profit. The misinvoicing, the classic example of the trade misinvoicing is the construction of this so-called $1.4 billion plant. My point and our point is that we need to authenticate if $1.4 billion was actually spent to construct.
How do you do that?
You know why? Because when you say you spend $1.4 billion, they say they will spread over 4 years, which is $350 million a year. When they come on the drawing table to get a tax benefit for that investment, you know what will happen? Liberia will say, no, we cannot pay $123 million every year out of, $350 million. Because that is the CRT. At the end of the day, they will say spread over many years. So that means ArcelorMittal again will be signing another 25 years with the government of Liberia, and they will always report loss because of that particular
Because of your
investment,
inability to
and then
pay.
we will not be able again to get dividend on profit.
So, what are your demands now? Before we go to some of the issues I have here, because when I invited you, I embark on the process of doing some research on ArcelorMittal and all these things. What are your demands now?
Our demands are simple and straightforward and clear, and some of them are very non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
Yes.
Let me hear the non-negotiable ones.
Immediately, effectively, even before we start discussing any renewal, one of the 3 chief executive positions must be given to a Liberian. It is
Immediately.
Immediate. It's long overdue. It should have been since 2008, 2009, and up to now. And we are in 2025. This is non-negotiable. A Liberian must occupy one of those positions. That's one. Number 2, the road leading from Sanikwere to Ikepa must be placed within the MDA as an agreed attempt, because ArcelorMittal will never face that road if it leave on a social corporate responsibility. So let's put it in the agreement. Even if it will be at certain cost to us, I don't mind. But it must be written in the MDA that ArcelorMittal will do that road, and that is also non-negotiable.
Number 2.
Renovating Number 2. Number 3. Renovating the housing unit in Ikepa must also be placed within the MDA, and it should be non-negotiable. The money you bring in one container to construct in Ikepa can face 3 houses. I can challenge them on the record.
You think so?
Of course. How much to renovate one small 3-bedroom house? You bring in a container from all the way Europe and America. You constructed them. You put in all the living quarters within it, everything. You dig it. Oh, okay, Clarence. Renovating Ikepa or bringing Ikepa to pre-war status is non-negotiable. You cannot have a $1 billion company, and then when they leave after 25 years, Ikepa turn to a shanty town. It would be laughable.
What's
Alfonso, the recording is long, and if we say we play, we will take all of our time on that. But I think you listen to him. And the next segment he was about to dive in was this entire controversy about Ashongo Basedebo, the other youth wings, and all those other people like the concerned women. You're taking a very deep breath. Something is wrong somewhere.
Yeah, Joe.
I mean, it sometimes you don't want to talk about this anymore because you believe that it is long overdue that we'll come to sit here to speak about the same thing over and over and over and again, and there is no improvement. Zero improvement you have in that. Zero improvement. Why is it that we have a company that have been operating in our country for the past 20 years, but yet and still there is nothing to boast of? Nothing. Zero thing we can boast of ArcelorMittal. When we extend this contract, because the previous MDA should end 2030, they got approximately 5 years. So if we extend it from 2030 for another 25 years, beginning from 2030, imagine.
2055.
2055. And there were key things that I took from the senator's speech.
Will also being almost 50 some more years.
No, I'll probably be talking about maybe I'm approaching 60 by that time. By that time, I'll be approaching 60 years. Me personally. Then I'll be and also this thing is very serious. What is 200,000 that a multi-million-dollar company cannot afford? I mean, the top 3 positions, like the senator said, they are not giving one to us because they believe that if they give it to us, we will know what is happening inside ArcelorMittal Liberia. So at the end result, those fake things they bring to Liberian government saying, oh, oil prices have dropped, things are like this on the market. We will know that because we have a Liberian in the system. So they don't want us to have a Liberian there. Now, should I blame ArcelorMittal again 100% for the MDA? I would say no, because signing the MDA, I don't know where our lawmakers were thinking, where the executive were thinking when they accepted that Continuous should be exported in Liberia. Continuous. How possible it is? Up till now, Yekepa is not even up to standard. And it's shameful on ArcelorMittal Liberia, not shameful on ArcelorMittal 100%, but also on the government. People sign contract with you when you know they are not doing the work. Kick those people out. Kick them out. You own a country. No matter how much they are giving to you, but we believe they are giving you nothing. You are not benefiting anything from that. But again, here we are as a country, and we are at this crucial stage. There are other group of people there coming in saying X, another group of people there saying this, another group of people saying when we started this, you were not there. So at this point, we don't need you. Leave us to do our thing. In fact, these people, they are doing the right thing. Is it because of hate that we would not benefit what we're supposed to benefit as citizens? For the past 20 years, the places, all of their trucks, their cars, all of their heavy-duty equipment have been passing from Yekepa to Sanikole. The road is not paved up to present. For the past 20 years. And we'll be sitting, washing them, observing them, carrying our oats every day. It's bad. I have nothing much to say on this, Afonso. I'm very much heartbroken when it comes to this issue. I don't know what to say about it. Let's hear you.
Everything in Africa, more especially in Liberia, is connection. Even hatred is also a connection in Liberia. Because somebody just through another person that hate you and told them something about you, and they are not even getting the actual story about you, also hate you through that person. So hatred is just a connection also. So everything in that place is connection. We're looking at a leader who got a business background, who have people who do research on international, organizations, international companies, who got a technical know-how to stand before people and talk. It's not just a beggar like other, people or other lawmakers who will go to the table. Other people say, please stretch your hand to us. He's not a kind of person like that. When he's speaking of issue that's supposed to have positive impact on our country and NIMBA, then we get some of our brothers and sisters there doing or making some statement that had the propensity to bring damage for the way we see ourselves. I think it's laughable, it's not correct. The people you call the concerned women, I don't know which. No, I get my mother or the sheepa. No. We get people right there in Sanikole where they had a press statement, call themselves concerned women or concerned women. Who made them concerned women? You see that lady who read the press statement? I know her. She said she was on how they call it, ArcelorMittal, scholarship in Cottington. Is she still on it? How far she gone with that? No, I was on. It meaning Nima Kante is okay. Because when I was on, Nima Kante is okay. But when I am not there, Nima Kante is not okay. You see some of these things? That lady was, and not just because what they call, but let me just clearly state that she was dishonest to the people of Nima. She was rude to the senator. he made calling the senator, or statement as baseless. She was very dishonest to the senator and rude to the senator. The people of Nima County elected a senator to do just what the people want him to do, to defend the county and making sure that the county benefits. And you will just come from nowhere, you call yourself concerned with me? That is laughable. We shouldn't be allowing this thing, people, our people being used. It just come to my mind that ArcelorMittal it becoming a political company, a political institution that dollar rising the youth and other people, poor people around to go against their leader. But if they continue to battle in that way, I think one time Jeremiah Kmakun, in one of the interview way back when he was represented, he said when a community radio become a political radio, they will play politics with it.
Politics with it.
Yeah. So if ArcelorMittal as a multilateral billion-dollar company want to become a political institution in Liberia, like CDC or UP or any other political party, they will play the politics. But the fact remains, we are strongly supporting our senator. We are strongly supporting our legislative caucus because I know what all he said was the agreement between the entire caucus. We support them. As long as no other caucus member is leaving from there to say, oh, me, I'm taking a bath by what the senator said, is to tell you that they are together, they are united. Even Mana Ide Gonglo Way, who do not have political connection with those guys now because they are on a different political line. We sat down with very caucus and that statement from the senator. I believe it's a good thing because this morning I monitor her on radio. She even said ArcelorMittal had not done anything, and she was one of the superintendent. Then you will see people will come and say ArcelorMittal had done a lot. A lot, yes, I agree that ArcelorMittal had done a lot, but a lot in their pocket, but not in Nima people's interest. That's why you see Armstrong Gubas, they're saying. That's why you see that they didn't come in, they have received something. So yeah, ArcelorMittal had done a lot. Yeah, that's what they're telling us. My brother would need to change. If we don't change, that particular mountain will be depleted from now to 2060. You will not see mountain around there called Mount Blair, Mount Takate, this and that. Everything, all the mineral will be gone. People will just be buying land out to be being and one hot because now house is hot around there. And ArcelorMittal on school, all of their attempts, their tank, everything, they shape it back. They will be there. When we can't throw their houses away because the mountain will not be there to protect their houses any longer from wind. They don't know the natural disaster that will take place after the mountain should have been depleted. They don't know. Something that will need to be guarded. My brother, thank God, even though we are from Liberia, thank God from way booyah. Thank God my mom blind and still standing.
No, don't go there. Don't go there. We speak in the interest of the people.
No. What I'm saying, thank God mom blind there is.
Listen, before you continue, I got to side with you on that because I have seen this advocacy thing going so personal to the extent. I listened to Armstrong once. He said, we from the affected community, he's taking out like an ownership. Now we speak in the interest of the Nima people. We speak in the interest of the Liberian people. But if you take the sole responsibility, the sole authority to say, I belong to this place. If I don't speak for them, you shouldn't speak for them. Because that's what I see going on right now.
But the Armstrong Gubas level is more affected than who in our country,
Everybody affected.
Even the people from Guinea, even those from Guinea are affected. Even though the mountain is not there, but they are affected because one way or the other, any natural disaster that takes place in that particular locality will affect the people of Guinea, will affect the people of Africa. You see, they are not affected. They are not affected. They are affected. We are all affected.
I don't really know how we find ourselves in this situation that we are so convinced of little $100 US, little $200 US, And then what we're supposed to stand for, we no longer stand for those things. You know, when I started to follow these young people like myself, try to, like, you know, fool themselves and say they are fooling the people. Like the lady who spoke. I mean, for God's sake, you're a lady. If you cannot preserve the future of your kids, because right now for her, she's already in her future. She has nothing again to lose. But if you cannot preserve the future of your kids, then it definitely means that tomorrow, your children will not see any single thing called mountain again in Nima. Imagine for 20 years, 20 good years you operate in a country, in a county, and you have nothing to boast of. You go point at one little clinic you built that is now up to 10 bedrooms in a Bapa, and you say that's a project with all of the money you're making.
How will you build clinic? No drugs. They require clinic.
No drugs. I mean, so this thing is really bad when you
it is happening. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to the highest extent. It is happening. Just yesterday, people were complaining of ArcelorMittal. He himself is speaking just yesterday. Before 2023 election, all of them were complaining ArcelorMittal is not doing well. Nobody. While the amendment was not signed during the 2023, the 2023, how they call it? Me say the 53rd legislature.
Yeah, 2022. In
the 54th, the 54th legislature. Why was it signed? Because the entire people in Nima knew that ArcelorMittal had not done anything at all, and they are saying our lawmaker should sign. We all were calling for that. So what now changed from that time? What now changed? Because they build concentrated plan. Like what changed? Or because they put money in your pocket? Like what changed?
It has no benefit on us.
It has no benefit.
We stand to benefit nothing, but we stand to lose a lot of things.
The people always
the little species we have in the forest there, they have all started to run away from that place because of the mining. Now with the little creeks that our people use, because they are not building them ponds, there is no drinking water for them. They use those little creeks to wash, to cook, to do everything when they go on their farms. Now with that concentration plant, when they start to wash the iron ore there, you see that entire place get polluted.
That's where now ArcelorMittal will have the farm from the how they call it the Environmental Protection Agency. You see there. But now you coming to wash the ore. Where do you expect those dirt to go? Where do you expect it to go? It is in the rivers. It is in the creek all around there. No people are happy that 1.5 billion is being spent on their iron, how they call it, iron, the stock pack over there. Now the water they coming to use, the source of the water. Nobody thinking about that. How they are crossing plane coming to die all around there. Nobody thinking about that. But they thinking what go in somebody's pocket. You take Armstrong pocket, that Nima people pocket, even that own gay people. Armstrong father that gay people not enjoy it. He's not he's not building a house in Gaipa. He building a house in San Nicolas, Ganta, Monrovia with money. Not in Gaipa because he know road is that lady there. He don't get done. These are people that will come sit down and be talking. We from the affected community. You from affected community? You're not from affected community.
It's bad. So that's it. We cannot say much about this thing because it's so frustrating. It's so disheartening that we keep saying the same thing over and over and again, and there is no changes to see. But again, that's it. The government has the authority. I mean, if I was the president of Liberia, then ArcelorMittal is no longer in the country, or else we stop every operation of them until they comply with the MDA. If not, we kick you out.
But I wasn't supposed to do that. I wasn't. You just tell people don't carry all until everything's all do it. Anytime money comes, you tell them the iron ore you already finish offering it there in huge quantity. These are things we need. Start what we need first. Let's see you go 50% before you start your job. Finish. You don't let it go.
But no, ArcelorMittal should have even built the entire Yekeba should be like an estate by now. Like an estate. But again, that's the country we find ourselves in. I believe that our government will one day change, that we get on the back of those that are supposed to give us the taxes, those that are supposed to pay those taxes, that they will pay them, because having a multi-million-dollar company, and it's not only ArcelorMittal Liberia. There are other companies. You see the cocoa rubber plantation. You see Firestone.
That cocoa again,
NRR. Now you see Firestone too.
It's owned by, but yet they stay not doing anything well.
Nothing well is going on. Look at Firestone. Up since, I don't know, 1926.
9 years contract.
Since and you cannot produce. You can export the rubbers.
They don't produce one tire in the country.
Damn it.
You know, I went to Iowa here in the States. I saw, Firestone. So I was in the car. I told the lady, I said, please stop. He said, what happened? I said, I want to see something. He said, what? I said, is there Firestone? He said, yeah, that's Firestone. I said, is this the only branch they get? I said, no, they got so many branches around here, but this is one of them. I look at the place for long, then I look back. I start thinking about Harvard region. I say,
You see, yeah. You see, this is
our government is the one of the key factors to our suffering in our country, because they make policy and they don't defend the policy they make, and they don't think about the interests of the people.
It's so bad, man. It's so bad. But again,
they will still be buying tire out of Liberia. Tire. We buy a tire. When you get the how they call it, the factory. I mean, the trees that are sound like this.
So I don't really know what is the problem, Liberia. I don't know. This thing started from 1822 that we still have it going on. But
we shouldn't blame 1822 people, man. 1822 people were just struggling to get this country to establish themselves after they had done that. Since 1964, or to present, why they get modern day Liberia. What have we done? And not just to make mockery of each other, just the other man is not educated. They may not educated. Their education is not even been diversified. It's not been put into use. All this, the person educated, you're taking from job. You that educated, you put it there, you become corrupt. These are things we're looking at. A minute, that was I told one other guy one time on the social media. He said, the man was not educated, so they need to take it from job. I said, what has your education you got? What has it impacted your community, your town you're from? They are not impacted anybody. They talking about somebody who has impact that is not educated but has impact on people. That's why I just tell you, I say, which one of the university in the world that you know flood settlement graduated from?
I mean, we
just go to our next thing, brother.
Yeah.
I want to get high blood pressure now.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. So, citizens of Liberia are expressing dissatisfaction in the recent citizen card distribution and the taking in Liberia. Most of them are saying they go on the line, they stand there for a couple of hours, and at the end result, they go back home without, getting the citizen card itself. And remember that the president signed an executive order that before you transact any business in Liberia, especially with the SIM card and out of bank transaction, you should own a citizen ID card. But again, with the citizen ID card distribution, the centers that they are taking, for example, in Montserrat County, there is only 14 centers. Montserrat has over 1 million population, and you put 14 centers. Is frustrating, and they are expressing that dissatisfaction in that. But let's play the recording in about 1 cent, And of course, we will end up with Vice President Kong tour today in China for the yellow machines that the government want to bring to Liberia. That's a big boost to we Liberians and the government of Liberia too as well. So hopefully we are anticipating of having one of our who-be politicians in the upcoming District Number 5 by-election in Nima County tomorrow. We're trying to get Quarter Quadri to come here tomorrow. So hopefully if he consent to our invitation, we're going to bring Quarter here too to speak to us about his agenda for District Number 5. But let's go to this. It's a very short recording. I try to get this from TikTok. I'd like to say shout out to whosoever person posted this thing. Let's have it.
Process is just go slow.
In April 2025, the Liberian government made national IDs mandatory for services like banking and mobile SIMs by August 1. But citizens complain that the rollout of the ID cards has been slow. The few centers handling the registration of these IDs are not able to keep up with demand. In Monrovia alone, 14 centers are expected to serve over 1 million people.
And can you imagine this big things? Look at our city, how big it is. So you have only 85 tickets to distribute to people that are in need. So what becomes of the rest of us?
In addition to long wait times, the $5 cost of the ID may also be an issue for many Liberians. More than 1 in 4 Liberians earns less than $2.15 per day, according to the World Bank data. With the August 1 deadline looming, thousands risk being cut off from essential services like banking and phone connections.
If answer you listen to that short recording. Now, with this recording, when I play it today, when I listened to it, it took my mind back to something. If you remember, quite recently, the government came up with a mandate that all motorcyclists should ride with helmet. Now, with that helmet thing, I believe it was for safety. And I believe that every motorcyclist should even own a helmet. But with the tradition that we find ourselves in Liberia, we believe that even riding with helmet is so uncomfortable that sitting one on a motorcycle, we cannot get the money that we're supposed to get per day. So we take someone like 2, 3 on a motorcycle. So what I think of is that sometimes a government go about making some decision that does not benefit the people, but instead benefit itself. Now, if the government is coming up, for example, to say this ID card issue, if the president go for the ID card, he won't stand in line like the other people. He will be issued the ID card immediately. Same to all of the top officials, including the ministers and everyone. But think of the teachers. Think of the nurses. Sometimes before you try to make these executive order, before you try to implement these things, it's better that you make more awareness about them first. I know that this entire team of citizen ID card came in Liberia, but we didn't take it seriously. We didn't take it seriously too. We as Liberians, we never take things seriously in the country. Citizens ID card have been issued for years upon years. But people get the ID cards and they are expired. They don't go to renew them. But again, we have to look at this the both ways. If the government is trying to implement an executive order, for example, you have given this executive order. Monserrato is so big that it holds up to 1 million plus residents, and you have only 14 centers. You issue 84 tickets a day to these 14 centers. How do you expect the other people to get the service? And according to the executive order, if you don't have the service, you cannot take salary. For example, the teachers, the nurses, the security apparatus. The guy have worked for his entire month, which of course is supposed to give him $100. The $100 is supposed to take extra $500 US again to go to renew his citizen ID or to pay for his citizen ID. Francois, let me hear you on this before we close up to go to the vice president as we try to conclude today's show.
John, sometimes policy as it may, sometimes it's good to accept as a country, as a nation, and people to adjust yourself to some other policy that the government made. It is important, as we all know, that the issue of citizen ID card was introduced not just during George Weah time, but early in last tenure. But it was not taken seriously by us, like you said. Liberia don't take anything seriously. So the first group of people they started with the issue of citizen ID card was the civil servant. That included teachers, the nurses, doctors, police, the armed forces, and in fact government officials that are civil servants. And so before you can go to the bank to get your salary, you should have your citizen ID card. What they were trying to escape is people duping the system and getting more than 2-3 payrolls. So if you get one citizen, you get citizen ID card without one identification number attached to only you. So you alone, then they will be able to find the disparity in the payroll issues. But it's not a bad thing for government to say yes, every citizen should get a citizen ID card. It's a good thing because we are mixed up. But the procedure sometimes look bad. We know we don't have all of the equipment for all of these things. But right by the time you go there today and you take it today, you remain there, your ID card just come. Or maybe if you take it, the ID card is supposed to be sent to you in a day or two. All around the world, that's what happened. Or Liberia are not patient one. Yes, Montserrat County is populated over 1 million people, or maybe close to 1.5 million people, yes. But 14 center to Montserrat, some people say it's less. But I feel personally looking at the landscape of Montserrat, 14 center is enough for Montserrat. The only thing that is not good is the procedures. And awarding maybe certain number of ticket that does not reach even 100 a day per person. I mean, yeah, per center is not a good thing. Taking into consideration 1 million or let's say 700,000 people, if you want to absorb all of the people within maybe 2-3 months, you can't tell them say 85% per day. No, you should be looking at your center number 14 center. If you talking to will be taking at least 350% of your 500% a day. That one, is okay. And you reach to each center, it shouldn't be the one person just taking the photo or other thing. There should be like maybe 6 or 7%, 7 people. You go to that man taking it, go to the other person taking it, like that will be very fast. But Liberia, we don't have the technology, we don't have all of the equipment. We got to bring the limited equipment in the country, and we want to, and the time frame is very short. We only want to apologize to the government to at least say these things should have worked in 2 years, so that the latest should be 2 years. With the funding, look at the funding, $5 US. The government still giving credence to the usage of United States dollar over the Liberian dollar. That's why we're still suffering our country with our currency. The government need to sit and decide if we supposed to be using United States dollar or we're supposed to be using Liberian dollar. If we're supposed to be using Liberian dollar, then the United States dollar should be now in the bank, should be used on the local market. Why will you tell your citizens when you get your currency, and you tell them say you go and get Adika, you say you're getting United States dollar? Why they can't get in Liberian dollar? Tell every citizen, okay, the Adika will cost 250 Liberian dollars. Everybody go and get it. It will be okay. But you can't tell them 5 United States dollar taking into consideration your exchange rate in the country. When you notice, even a family cannot, feed themselves on 500 Liberian dollars a day, when you tell them to pay close to $900 for that Adika, there are 5 in the house that are above the age 18, and they pay 900 plus. Hey, you're talking about 4,500. Where they get it from? Almost their Monday is full money. You can't do that to Liberian people. Why it is important that every citizen, I'm not discouraging every citizen not to do that. It is important that every citizen in the country got their identification card. We want to separate the citizens from aliens and foreigners. So you get your identification card. Sometimes it's important that when you go for a job and a foreigner or alien is there, does not have that, and you present it, they prioritize you. But everybody, you go to the company, take everybody to be Liberian. You take everybody to be Liberian. And Liberia don't speak the 50 English. People from Guinea, as soon as they spend 2 years in Liberia, they say they are Liberian. If from Africa, as soon as they spend 2 years in Liberia, they say they are Liberian. You see there? So we got to get this thing done. The way the government just need to be patient and spread this thing out and making sure that within 2 years, all of the citizens should be. Therefore, the government official, for me, if I were the government, I was not going to tell them, you'll go pay. Your salary we give you already. So go and go take it free for you. Go and go take it free because we'll deduct it from your salary. That one is clear. But ordinary citizen, you have to go and go pay certain amount of money, you'll go do it. Because we need more, we need to buy more items. We can't just provide free. Even here in the United States, they don't provide, they stuff free. Just like that. There are something they can provide free. There are some they don't provide free. You gotta pay for it. Yeah.
That's it. Thank you, Afonso. Before we go to our last story, this was just posted by the Executive Mansion in Liberia. I want to read this press release from the Executive Mansion. It says President Bouaka suspend the Liberia Telecommunication Authority acting chairman amid GSC report on financial misconduct. The Executive Mansion, Monrovia, President Joseph Newman Bouaka Sr., with immediate effect, suspended Mr. Abdoulaye El Kamara from his position as acting chairman of the Board of Commissioners of the Liberia Telecommunication Authority. The decision follows a report from the General Auditing Commission highlighting serious allegations of corruption and financial mismanagement. I want to get to the bottom of this. It says, according to the report, Mr. Kamara is linked to grave financial irregularities and misconduct during his tenure as Chief Executive Officer of TAMA Corporation, particularly in relation to transactions involving public funds. In his letter of suspension, the president said, in keeping with the government commitment to transparency and accountability, Mr. Kamara is suspended without pay pending the outcome of a full and independent investigation by the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, LACC. President Bouaka has further directed Mr. Kamara to fully cooperate with the LACC and Ministry of Justice and to make himself available to support the ongoing investigation. This action is in keeping with administration determination to uphold integrity and public service and ensure that those entrusted with public responsibilities are held to the highest standard of accountability. Amazing. Amazing, yeah. You suspend another person again. That's great. We try to dive deep into this tomorrow. The news is just breaking. We have no clue about it yet, but we are sure that we will do all of our necessary research to discuss this tomorrow. But again, I want to applaud the president because of the steps he's taking. This is actually amazing. It's welcoming, very much welcoming. So this will deter who-be doers that want to maybe venture into corruption. You will know that the president is not joking. He's definitely not joking. So as always, we want to say thank you to all of you who are just joining the show this evening. It's our pleasure to have all of you online. We will be here as always to inform you, to let you know about the happenings around the world. I am here with Afonso Wumbo. And of course, you're listening to BKS TV and you're listening to the Heat Hour right here. Let's take our last story as we try to conclude in the next 10 minutes to get this edition of the Heat Hour done with for today. We are hoping and praying that tomorrow we will be on here with Koto Kwagru, who are one of the representative aspirants of the upcoming by-election in District number 5, to tell us about his plight. And we're going to be asking all of the questions. So we hope and pray that tomorrow Koto Kwagru will be here with us. But until then, let's go to the Vice President visit today in China.
For the Vice President delegation, they are inspecting here in China at the facility of Shantui. For the Vice President delegation, they are inspecting these facilities of Shantui. Shantui manufactures road equipment and several others. You see all the way there, we're in the manufacturing plant, assembling them and all of that, all the way there in the distance. This is what you see here. We are in the production facility of Shantui.
Afonso, I want to say here that this government is a serious matter government. I want to categorically say that this government, it is a serious matter government. I mean, the vice president himself, he said, no, we cannot just spend our money. We sit here and the product come to us. I wish someone would go to inspect. They say this one is not okay. We have to send it back, which of course the people of Liberia that work need to be done. So let me go there myself. Let me inspect those things before it comes to Liberia. I don't know whether a government have done this before, but this move is welcoming and we must appreciate it. I believe with this yellow machine that is coming to Liberia, the road from Second Pier to Butu will be paved. I believe so. Because the vice president is from Nimba. He knows the in and out of Nimba County, and he knows the importance of Butu. Butu as a border. So I believe so that if this yellow machine enters in Liberia, that road corridor will be paved. But let's hear you on this, Afonso, as we try to close up on today's edition of the show.
Long awaited yellow machine.
Yeah.
You know, the government, unlike the past government, maybe in the 60s, in the 1900s, are not seeing the vice president to be more instrumental in representing the country like this current government. So I agree with you that this government is a serious-minded government. It is the government that the issue about the country is not solely and wholly invested in the president.
Mm-hmm.
There are duties assigned to other government officials, and the only thing the president needs is result. And that's what I'm seeing in this government. Even though most of the government officials are not giving the actual result, some of them have some issues, some of them have some problems. But I think some of the things will be resolved one day before they leave office.
Mm-hmm.
The vice president is very instrumental in the government. He helps the president to do most, or negotiation around for the government. As you may know, in the past leadership, there was nowhere we saw our vice president going. Unlike the Manaeri Johnson government, where sometimes they sent Joseph Boakai, then vice president, to go to represent Liberia some places just once in a while. But for this government, you see they bought all over the place. That people will get and say, my son, go there. My son, go so. My son, go so. We and Nigerians are very proud of the vice president. Liberian, in fact, proud of the vice president. And with the issue of the yellow machine deal, I'm hoping that it be very early that this year all the machines should be in Liberia, because the Chinese people don't take 2-3 months to produce. The only higher thing, just let them know that I be 1 million pieces. As long as their population is in billion, they produce 1 million just within 2 hours. So they got all of the equipment down there. But the vice president coming from a business background, he want to get the sophisticated and well, value for money material to come to Liberia, because you don't want to have equipment brought to Liberia under their regime. Then after 2, 3 to 6 months or 1 year, 2 years, they say all the machine down. The Liberian people say, hey, but when they bought, I think Liberia can say second hand material they brought here. It's not correct. So I following one of the statements when they were in the board meeting. I mean, he was meeting with the board of the company. He said he don't need a classic material. He don't need something that he will carry or he will bring to Liberia. Then after a few hours, he got problem, then he'll be calling back for spare part and all of things. So you need all of these things. And the value for money he want a very durable material for it. That's why he did not get assurance to that particular company he went in that we will get it from you. He said we stay in China for a couple of days, making some negotiation around. Why it is true, and he went there with the PPCC, GSA, the public work, other people, which were very good. So all of them are there making a tour. Now the company like Viola want to import the machine now for the 20 or 22 million. The government already know what is there. So if you don't agree what the government will agree, the government will just go directly to the company and say you'll bring it. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm surely seeing here, because if the company say, okay, we'll give it for 16 million for instance for that PC you're talking about, then I come to you, you're talking about 22 million. Why the SS will give you 22 million? I can go for the 16 million, say we can re-ask the oil and bring almost 500 pieces. I think that's what I'm looking at here, but I think the vice president is doing well. We appreciate him. We want him to continue a contribution to the country in a positive direction, not in a negative direction. But one of the things I want to hold our vice president by is during a campaign, he makes certain statement in Grand Jury. I'm still hoping to see that statement come to pass.
Okay, thank you so much, Afanso. Yeah, it's been a wonderful show this evening. We'd like to appreciate all of you who watched the show tonight, all of you who commented, all of you who also helped to share the show. Like I said, thank you to all of you. You listen to the Heat Hour right here with Afanso and Junior. It has been a wonderful show. Afanso, let's hear you as we close up on today's edition. Your parting comment.
We want to say thank you to our listening audience for today. We will not be coming here with politicians all the time, but we'll be discussing, key issues affecting our community at this particular time. And we'll also be encouraged to discuss issues that is improving to our community. And these are things we'll be discussing. And we, as adequately expect that you contribute to our show by sharing, viewing, and also making comments and having your say Sometimes we will try to open a line for you to call, but we're still working on something. When we work and complete them, we will then be opening a line. You'll be making your contribution. We want to get a very civilized and more responsive, TV show in Nimba that will have it, let's say, viewers in admiring what we will be doing. We will not be the only people here. There will be people who will come to even overshadow the whole stuff. There will be technocrats, people who are, who come with the system. But we had to start it and see other people coming. I want to say thank you for your stay with us. And thank you to you too, Gian.
Thank you so much, Afanso. It has been a wonderful, wonderful show here this evening. To all of you, like I say, thank you for the time you spent with us tonight. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for your share. And thank you for also viewing our platform. Please also do your duty to also follow this platform. And you can also comment here every time. Maybe if we are discussing something that you want to make your input, you can comment them. You can ask all of your questions in the comment section. Also, thank you for today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Folks, that's it. You've been listening to the Heat Hour here on BKS TV. The next time we meet again, same channel, same presenters, and same TV station. Take care. Love the life you live and live the life you love. Bye-bye for now.